Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush.
So, what's up, Buckle Up Podcast Universe fam with Brandon Rush? Actually, it's Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush. Sorry. Let's start again because I can't talk today. Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. It's just me today because Mama Rush can't be here, but we have a very special woman on here today who is a stunt woman of all things, Bronte. So she's going to be on here today talking about her. She's originally from Australia, I believe, and she's going to be talking about her stunt work in the movie industry. So she's going to be joining us in just a second. But I'm so happy to have her on here today. So many amazing stunt women and stunt men that I've worked with throughout the 75 TV shows and movies I've been on in my career. So I'm very excited to have her on here in just a few minutes. Sorry about the beginning. I was struggling. My mouth was a little bit afflicted with getting the words out. See here. Bronte should be. Yes.
Hello.
Bronte, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Love the accent, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Uh, Thank you so much for coming on the Buckle Up podcast today. I did hit. Let me hit record real quick. I think I hit record, but I want to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Bronte, thank you for coming on Buckle Up podcast universe with Brandon Rush. But my mom's not here. She's on a little bit of vacation today, so it's gonna be just me. So I'm excited to have you on here. Thank you so much for making the time.
Hey, it's good to actually chat, and I'm sorry that I can't meet your mom today. Would have been great to meet mom as well.
Oh yeah, well you know what? You're gonna have to. She has a lot, like she has a load of questions for you. So you're gonna have to come on one more time, or at least whenever you want to actually. But you're gonna have to come back on so you can meet her too.
Oh, awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah, so it's nice to officially meet you too. I know that we've been I think you were in Atlanta one point when I was in Atlanta. I missed you there. Was I right or wrong?
Yeah. I've been keeping up with Instagram and seeing you're jetting all over the place and yeah. I've been back and forth to Atlanta a lot, especially last year. I think it was 3-4 times I was out there.
Okay. What were you working on when you were out there, by the way? Are you allowed to say it?
Yeah, I was helping out with there was one proof of concept, there was a music video, and then there was also just there was another fight. We filmed lots of fight concepts, and then I was also out there working on a movie in the later half of the year, but I can't talk about that one.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. I have an idea what it is because I work in Atlanta a lot, so I think I know what it is. But so I had a couple. So Bronte, first off, you are a stunt woman.
Yes, I am a stunt woman.
And then you're originally from. That's first off, thank you very much. I have to say for your service because stunt women and stunt men, you guys put yourselves through all kinds of chaos.
Oh, you're not wrong there. I have plenty of stories relating to that chaos.
Yeah, well, we're here to talk about today. There's no time limit, so literally, we have as much time as you have.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so all right, a couple things here. You are a stunt woman and you were a stunt woman, and you're originally from Australia. Is that right?
Yeah. So I was born in Australia, and I moved to New Zealand when I was 6 years old. So I grew up in New Zealand. I consider myself mostly a Kiwi only because I represented New Zealand in sport.
Okay.
The rest of my immediate family aren't even New Zealand citizens. They're all Australian. I'm the only hybrid.
Oh, hey, I like the hybrid. I'm very that's something that's very honorable, and because I read on there that it said that you're. I saw on your IMDb that said that you're a Kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind explaining that? Because I'm American. Would you mind explaining that to the audience who's from all over the world? Because we have a lot. We have.
It's not the fruit. Kiwi fruit is the fruit. Kiwi is the kiwi bird. So
okay.
A kiwi bird is native to New Zealand. And
oh, really?
Place in the world you will find the kiwi bird. And so that's how we got the nickname Kiwis. It's not a fantastic bird. It sort of looks like a football.
Okay.
Flightless. It's endangered. And for some reason, that's our name.
Okay. Well, hey, I absolutely. Yeah. No, I like the name. Also, a couple things about was it like growing up in New Zealand? Because I want to hear about your background too before we even get to know stuff. You're growing up and all that.
So my parents moved over. They felt really called by God to move to New Zealand. So my dad led the way in that. And it was a beautiful lifestyle. Truly, you have so many opportunities there. It's a very small country. I mean, when we moved, it was, I think, 4.5 million people in the whole country. I think it's up to like 5.2 million now.
Oh, wow. Not that many.
You
Oh,
have opportunities to get to the top very easily. So both my brother and I were into sports, and we
mhm.
started to do a lot with our sports. My brother was like, he was on a youth team. He ended up like going to Germany for a year, representing New Zealand and like Germany doing football. And then I went the opposite direction with aerobic gymnastics, and we got to meet the best coaches in the world. We got to have all these incredible experiences, represent our country just because like it was really easily accessible in New
Yeah.
Zealand. You know, the pool is that much smaller that you can if you want it, get to the top very quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities come from there. So it was beautiful. The country is gorgeous, of course. So
Yeah.
it's safe. It's yeah. I can't say enough good things about it. But the only difficult part about growing up
Okay.
in New Zealand is you do rise to the top very quickly. Like if you
Oh,
go for it, you're like, now what?
yeah. Yeah. You're at the top, but then like you come over here and that's a different story.
Exactly. And so that's really what led me to the States is I felt like I'd kind of done most of the things that I could do in New Zealand. And I was like, well, do I change career? Do I just completely pivot and do something new? Or do I
Yeah.
continue on this path and push it further?
Okay. Well, I'm going to touch a little bit about home. Don't worry, I'll get to the stunt stuff, but I'm gonna ask you more about home because I think it's beautiful. Like I said, I love learning about people from other countries and learning about New Zealand for the first time, literally. Although
I'm from New Zealand.
I know one other person that played like the female football league, but and then the All Blacks.
Yep, the All Blacks, like the rugby.
Yeah, I know the All Blacks, which is just that haka I absolutely love.
Oh, the All Blacks are absolutely a national icon. In
Yeah.
fact, as soon as the All Blacks lose, the whole country goes into just a day of mourning. It's
Okay.
celebrated nationally.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Kiwi culture. I do study a lot about it. And
Mhm.
then there are these two guys I watched that had a speech for the All Blacks that was so amazing. I'm gonna have to send it to you. But I love how passionate your fans are about the Kiwi Strong. And yeah, right?
Yeah. It's I do love the great part about New Zealand culture is everyone is family. Like there's literally a phone company called 2 Degrees, and it's about the fact that everyone is only 2 degrees separated from another. You always know someone who knows someone. You
Yeah.
go to school with someone who went to school with that person that you knew when you were a kid. Like you can't get away from everyone. It's that whole small town feel, and because of that, the entire country is very welcoming and friendly and very laid back and relaxed as well. Yeah.
Okay. That's an important thing. But you guys are these beast athletes, like because
Yeah.
you did gymnastics. Was it assuming was it gymnastics considered? Is that what you were doing, or was it
Yeah, so this is the confusing part. So I did aerobic gymnastics. I started in randomly
okay?
Irish dancing, and then I I know
I
that when you go to New Zealand, and then
mean, it's still awesome though.
I did that for several years, but to develop my flexibility, I started artistic gymnastics. Now, what people don't know is that gymnastics is actually just an umbrella term. So, under gymnastics, you have artistic gymnastics, you have men's artistic gymnastics, you have trampolining, you have tumbling, you have rhythmic gymnastics, and you have aerobic gymnastics, amongst a
Okay.
couple of other things now. So, I did aerobic gymnastics, which was performed on like a wooden floor. It's more performance based
Hmm.
as well as the gymnastic skills. As
Okay.
so, I got really into that, and I represented New Zealand for 5 years. I went into judging and coaching it. I coached the New Zealand aerobic gymnastics team for 9 tours. I
Okay.
became
Wow.
an advisor for the country. I served on the steering committee, which worked on child protection policies for the country after the Larry Nassar stuff. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I've been a member of the technical committees for aerobic gymnastics and one of the coaching advisors to the country for quite a while.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude, you're amazing.
I had done most of that by the time I was 25.
Oh wow, you've lived a whole entire lifetime.
That's just one of them. Like that's what I mean is there's crazy opportunities and if you're passionate and you're on it, then it really is endless over there.
Okay. What if an American were to say try to move over there and get some of those opportunities? Is that possible?
Yes.
Oh wow.
But you have to accept the fact that New Zealand has it's more expensive lifestyle. Like
Ooh, I
whenever
didn't know that part.
yes, it's an island. It's like imagine moving to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Imagine how expensive Hawaii is just living there and working there all the time, earning that dollar
Yeah,
for what you're paying. It's expensive. Yeah.
absolutely. Luckily, at least I'm one of those Americans that has a hard work ethic
Hmm.
and nothing comes easy. So, I wouldn't mind putting in the work, but if that opportunity ever presents itself, I'd love to do that. Now, question, you said you represented the country. Does that mean the Olympics too, or am I wrong on that?
So aerobic gymnastics is not in the Olympics.
Oh,
So we have international aerobic championships and you have like the world circuit where you earn points and things. So we compete
okay.
in the circuit and at the international aerobic championships. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, I appreciate you going. Look at you. All right. So how do you go from you accomplish all this in your lifetime and before 25, it seems like the age before 25, you've accomplished all these different things in a competitive field, which separates you. What do they say? Only probably the top 10% of people can do that, right? If not less, or doing that in that field. What's that?
I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
Well, yeah, when you're the top or the best at something, you're usually the top 10% of whatever that is normally. Because I think even in college sports, like the only top 10% go professional.
Wow.
So yeah, so you're very accomplished in that. So here's another question to ask you about that.
Yeah.
If you were that good when you're competing on the internet, so you said it's easier to get to the top because of New Zealand, but that doesn't mean that the competition's weaker or anything like that.
No.
But I'm saying, because you were able to get to the top on your level, what was it like competing against people from other countries that are probably at the top of their game?
Yeah. So it was a steep learning curve. I'll tell you that
Ooh.
much. So I think my first international competition was when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
So we were selected in New Zealand because at that point, especially with who we were traveling with, there was not much competition, especially within the team.
Yeah.
And so we went over and we just got destroyed.
Oh, wow. Yeah, figured.
We're right at the bottom of we got absolutely demolished. And we're like, oh, okay. So what are we going to do? You have two options then. You're like, okay, we're just going to stay in New Zealand and do this for fun as a recreational sport.
Yeah.
Or are we competitive and do we want to come back next year and kill it now that we know what the standard is?
Yeah.
And we decided to go that way. So we changed club, we got new coaches, and we just went absolutely pedal to the metal. And went back the following year and just slowly worked your way up until we were eventually medaling at those championships.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. So it's just the more you compete internationally, the more you experience the world, the better you get, the more you know what the standard is.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that. Now, you ended up answering two things, but I wanted to touch on it for a second. I love the fact that you said, hey, that you got to the top very fast, but when you guys went international, you kind of got smoked a little bit, but you had a decision. Sometimes we all in lifetime, a lot of people get their, you're always you learn more lessons in lifetime sometimes by losing than you do by winning. Because you guys had that winning mentality at first and not knowing, going to international competition, that then showed you guys hold on a second. These people around the world are next level, but we're not going to stay here and be, these people from Kiwi. We're going to be we're going to be just as good as them. And we're going to work our butts off as long as it takes, or what we're going to do, whatever it takes. You decided that mentality that you would do whatever it takes to get to that competing level and then find to compete. I absolutely love that because that also translates to life. Where go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
No, it absolutely does. Even in this career, especially,
yes,
there is constantly you're losing every day.
Yeah.
Depends how you think of it, but there's always knocks in this industry. So it's well, what are you gonna do about it? You have a choice every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And with that, because I played sports, I played football. And so I like American football. Sorry. Yeah. So I've learned that process. But when you're coming from it, the one thing that works out for you and that works out for me and works out for people that have been athletes at some point is that when you develop that, you have that work ethic built into you, to where no matter what that obstacle is, you're going to overcome it. So you already had that innately built into you through your competition. I had the same thing through the competitions that I did, because that's why the transition, one of the things I do love about the business is because it reminds me of sport only in the fact that it's not the same physical competition wise, but you know that you're competing against factors and you want to be at the top of your field with that.
Maybe not for the acting. It's not the physical competition.
Oh my God, let me shut up. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're right. Stunt wise,
It's just a continuation. It really is.
yeah. No, like yeah, you're right. You have to keep on your stuff all the time. Not even lie. But the thing is, actually, it's funny you mention that because I do so much action related. All my stuff's action, which I love. That I'm constantly working with stunt teams and stunt men. I saw we were friends with Khalid on here.
Yeah, I honestly, every single person in stunts, I try to connect with them in some way, whether it's following them on social media, whether it's meet them or something. I want it to be my business to know what's happening. And
Okay, smart. I do the same thing, but I just do it a little bit differently. But smart. That's very smart, dude. So you might not know Khalid personally, right? I guess maybe not. Khalid's okay. So I'll tell you about Khalid. I worked with Khalid in 2016 on Scorpion. He was supposed to be my stunt double, but for some reason, someone didn't show up. So I ended up doing the stunts for myself, which was great. But I worked with Khalid. Khalid is I believe it's pronounced Khalid Ganji. I believe it's how I pronounce the last name. He's the one that has done all the stunts for Black Panther. So he played Killmonger. He did all the stunts for Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, and he also did John Wick and those. But the big thing, one of the big things, because he's done a lot, is he's worked with every like African American actor, pretty much. I would just say, basically, and he does a phenomenal job at it. So I got a chance to work with him then, and I've been friends with him for years since then. And he kind of took me through the ropes of how to take a punch and stuff like that. So he was the first person. What's that?
how did you find doing your own stunts?
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
I
what extent? Because like when lots of actors talk about doing their own stunts,
yeah, I'll tell you.
be a fight scene, because then when I think about someone getting thrown into a wall, I'm like, the actor probably didn't do that stunt.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that. All right, a couple things. One, I do as much as they will allow me to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I did FBI, I was actually going to do it. So in FBI, my character got shot through like a little, the thing we hold jars and stuff on in the glass. Yep. I was actually going to do it. I was down to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's no way production insurance would be like,
Yeah. That was pretty ixnay, because I was like, I'm feeling myself. Why not? We've been kicking butt because we were just working with stunt. We were working with all stuntmen because it was we were getting an ambush scene, kind of like Heat. If you ever, not Heat.
Yeah.
Clear and Present Danger. There's a big shootout scene. We basically kind of took from that.
Okay.
Anyway, I ended up getting shot through this thing. I didn't do it. A guy named Brandon did it for me. But the thing is, actually, like after he did it, I was like, you know what? I'm glad he did do that, because I would have gotten busted up. Let me stick within my wheelhouse. And I've seen what you've done. You've been dragged by a horse. You've been knocked through doors.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. So with that one, yeah, seriously, I saw your video, and I'm gonna talk about that. Like, that was wild. So I didn't do that one. I have done all my fight stuff I've done myself. Even I did get I was supposed to get kicked, and I accidentally hit my head off the ground one time, got a little bit of a knot.
Whoa.
NCIS New Orleans. That's fine. I was like, that's why my mom always says don't do your own stunts. And then Scorpion, because the guy, whoever it was, didn't show up, I had to drive the car. I had to drive this sports utility vehicle, I don't know, 60 miles per hour or something, then stop on a dime. We had to hop out. We had to run, chase after these guys. I fell into some poison ivy, or poison oak. Yeah, I didn't know it, but I'm like, oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I tripped on one of the take. I guess I was feeling myself so much that I tripped and I fell. I didn't realize it was poison oak at first, but I'm like, man, my neck's kind of getting it's like, why is it was poison oak? And then Khalid, then I had to take a hit from Robert Patrick, who played the T-1000 in Terminator. Mm-hmm. So that's the extent, besides this one fight movie I did, that's been the full extent of my stunt so far. Not even remotely close to what you have done, which I would love to talk about as we speak right now. I saw you get kicked through, blown through a door. I saw you like a vampire or something jumping out the wall. You got dragged by a horse. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, honestly, the drag by the horse is just really fun. Like
what?
Well, we prepare for it. So first thing, trained horse. You have to train horses in stunts. They have to be film horses that are desensitized and aren't going to freak out and spook. Okay. And are used to that kind of action. So one, we had trained film horses. Two, the rider of that particular stunt, very experienced. He has worked with horses for, I'm probably lowballing here when I say 20 years.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
He is very experienced. Three, we had a really good rigging team. So I was dragged by my legs, and it was hooked up to the saddle, I believe. This is quite a few years ago now. But we had a good rigging team who knows how to set it. And it also is set with a quick release. A quick release means that if anything starts to go wrong, the rider can release it, and also
nice.
I have the ability to release it.
Okay.
It will be hard, but my hands are free, so I can do that. This is also why, like, I'm not being dragged by my hands. Like, if it's
Yeah.
dragged by their hands, I'm kind of like, do you have, like, can you?
Yeah.
It might be a little trickier. And so that was the other one. And then we also had a safety team there as well. So like, it's not just, oh, we're filming this for fun. It's like, I know that there's a team there who, and a couple of extra horses in case anything happens, that they can like jump on and come on over. Someone also has like a knife where they can cut it. So like, we have done all the precautions and everything. And then for me, like I have like my back pad, we call it like an armadillo, which is like quite an intense one, which is like really ridged on the back. And so when I'm going across the dirt, like I'm basically like sliding on it, like it's not actually on my skin at all. And so I'm protected as well. And I also have elbow pads on too in case like my arms get hit on the way. We've cleared the ground, so like there's no big rocks or anything.
Yeah.
The one, like the ground is safe, it's all dirt.
No oak, no poison oak anywhere. Poison
oak, none of that. I think the worst part about that one is while I'm acting, because obviously you're acting as you go, and screaming, there is so much dirt being kicked up. And what you don't see is at the end of that video, they like, the horse stops, we come to a stop, and everyone sits up. People run over to do the safety checks on me, and they're like, one person is still filming, and they're like, how are you doing? You good? You good? And I sit up and I'm smiling. So like, that was so much fun. And my team just like, I just have so much dirt in my...
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, but that's awesome though.
Yeah, it's very safe when you're with the right team and know what to expect and how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's dude. Honestly, you're such a badass. Like, I'm gonna have to borrow your role because when I post this with you, I'm gonna have to show them all the stuff you've done, like your reel and things like that. I think that like you are amazing. So I looked at that. I think I saw an explosion too, where you got shot through a door.
Yeah. So actually, this is a good little segue right here because this is one of my first jobs in the industry.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know how you got in that too.
Yeah. So New Zealand stunt industry was booming. I don't even know how many TV shows were going on at the time. And I had started stunt training. I had like a 6-month gap between finishing my undergraduate degree and starting my postgraduate degree.
Oh.
And yeah, I know.
Don't scoot over that, please. So where'd you go to college and what was your degree in? Please don't at least touch it if you're going to say it right now. Because
I went to the University of Auckland. And so that's not the capital, but it's the biggest city in New Zealand.
Okay.
And I did my undergraduate degree. I got a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, and I got a double major in criminology and sociology. So I triple majored my undergrad, and then I went to postgrad and I got first class, first degree criminology, and I got scholarships through my master's, but I actually turned it down for the following season of this show that I'll tell you about.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna be like I don't know what the detectives or FBI would be over there considered. Was that what you're looking for doing?
I was looking at that initially, but then like I know to become a detective, you have to work as a frontline police officer, and I was like, I don't really know if I want to.
No, you're good.
So I was looking at criminal rehabilitation, or even going into like criminal justice sector and politics to try and change the system a little bit.
Okay, but you had greater plans.
I think God had greater plans. I had
Amen.
zero.
Amen. Amen.
Intention for stunts.
Oh, really?
Where I ended up. I didn't know it was a thing. I truly didn't know stunts was a thing growing up. Like, I did my sports, I did my thing. I think you go to university, you get married, you have kids, you get a job. That's life.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do movies. I grew up in New Zealand. It's not what I think of. It's a very industry there. Even though they have big movies, like it's not every person you meet. It's not like LA where half the people you meet are working on film all the time.
Are they though? You know what I mean? That was a joke. That was a joke. Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't even think about it. People have normal jobs.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was thinking. And it was while I was at university.
Okay.
And I was trying to look for, extra part-time work while I was at university, and I went to a talent agent and I was like, look, I've done like aerobic gymnastics, I've competed in fitness, I've done some fitness modeling stuff. Like, what can I do? Like, do you have anything? And they're like, oh, we kind of do like live events and things. And then they're like, we also put people forward to be like extras. And I was like, oh, okay, I've never been an extra. Sure, I can
Yeah.
be. That sounds like I can like study on set. Bet.
Yeah, right?
Like, that sounds like a great option.
Yeah.
And then they're like going through my resume and kind of my history of my gymnastics and things. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't, no, you should be doing stunts. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put you in touch with this lady, Dana, who owns the New Zealand Stunt School.
Ooh.
I get in contact with Dana and the New Zealand Stunt School. And I was like, you know what? This is just kind of fun. People meet up once a week and just try new stuff and do silly fight scenes and learn all this sort of stuff. And I was like, to me, I thought of it like a new sport. I
Yeah.
was like coming from a competitive background. I'm like, bet I've got a team again. I'm not training on my own. I'll just like go through once a week, meet up with people, train a bit, and just enjoy learning something new. Like,
Yeah.
that's all I thought of it as. And I'm like, and then if I do get a day's work as a stunt performer, like training's paying for itself. Because if you've been in it,
Yes.
you know how expensive it is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Seriously. Seriously.
It's so expensive. Like the thousands of dollars I've spent on competitions and training and food and diet and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like
It adds up.
a lot, a lot. So I was like, okay, this is a sport that pays for itself. Love that. I'll just keep training and hopefully one day we'll pay for like, you know, a term of training.
Yeah.
And then I got my first job.
Okay. Yeah. And what was your, I mean, that's awesome. What was your first job?
My first job was Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah. So I was very lucky. I didn't know the show before I got on it. But then I realized how it has a huge cult following
Yes.
based off the old Evil Dead movie.
Yep.
So my first job was to double Cheryl, his sister, on her comeback episode in
Oh, no way.
season 2.
Dude, she's a legend, actually. Like a cult legend at that.
I know, I know. I discovered this like while I was on it because I had
Yeah.
again, the industry was just booked out and there was not many girls my height, my size, my coloring. I think there was maybe 2, honestly.
Oh,
and
wow.
they were booked on other jobs. And so Dana was the assistant stunt coordinator and Stuart Thorpe was the stunt coordinator. And this obviously had a lot of wire work. And they're like, look, you're very new, but given my aerobic gymnastics background, they're like, you're probably going to have really good body control.
Yeah.
You should be okay on wires. And so I came in and my very first job had like 5 or 6 wire gags.
Oh, wow.
If you don't know wires, it's like when you're like in the harness, you're shackled up and someone's just yeeting you like literal yeet. And so it was one of those moments where it's like, if I can survive this,
You can survive. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
then I've made it. Like,
Yeah.
but after this experience, if I'm like,
Yeah.
then
You find out.
yeah. So I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
So that gag where I'm flying through the door, if we loop back around to that one, that was one of my first stunts.
Oh.
Like I think it was my 4th or 5th wire gag of that job.
Yeah.
And I remember I had people coaching me. I remember one of our riggers, Taryn, was right in front of me and he was on my stopper. So a stopper is a line which basically puts a limit on how far you can go. So it's like and so he was literally in front of me coaching me through it. He's just like, just remember, just like chin down, you know, you're gonna like tap down with one leg. And so he's like giving me my final notes. And I also remember then special effects came in and special effects puts this cannon like right there. And I was like,
Holy smokes.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like as you fly through the door, we're gonna just like the cannon's gonna go off and just like heaps of debris is just gonna fire. And I was like, okay. And they're like, just close your eyes. It'll be fine. And I was like, I'll just close my eyes for the whole stunt.
Yeah. Oh, did you really?
We had to do it. And then in addition to that, they're like, okay, so now I'm going to close my eyes while I do this stunt. I have Taryn coaching me through it. And then props comes through and he's like, oh, here's the heart. And I'm like, what? And they're like,
What?
yeah, like right before I fly through that door, I ripped someone's heart out, and
Oh
I'm
wow, Mortal Kombat style.
holding it the whole time. Before this, I had ripped it out. I had been shot once. I'd done a kip up and stand up, and
Yeah.
then I got again through the door, and I'm still holding this heart the whole time. And then the director comes through and he's like, "Cool. So when you land on the ground at the end, you need to land here." And I was like, "Okay,
Uh
do the stunt, close my eyes, get shot in the face, hold the heart, land like this." And it the first one was so funny because they didn't score the door enough. So scoring means that you are cutting something up so that it breaks down. So
oh
like
my
you need
God.
to break. Fortunately, it was balsa wood and foam, so it's very soft.
Okay.
But
Bill.
they didn't score it enough, and so it got stuck on the line. And I hit the ground, and this door just like lands on top.
Ooh.
Finally called cut, and I just start cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
Crying. And they're like, "Are you okay?" They didn't know if I was like crying or
Yeah.
something. That's like, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't you guys? But that's how you know you're built for it.
Yeah, that was an awesome stunt. That one
Yeah.
actually, um, that one didn't hurt at all. Like I remember the impact, but honestly, the riggers in New Zealand are fantastic. In fact, one of the ones that was rigging on that job, we call them Noodles.
Okay. Oh, that.
Won a Taurus World Stunt Award for his work on Mad Max for rigging.
Oh no way! Wow, really? That's pretty awesome.
Like the riggers in New Zealand are literally some of the best in the world.
I
They
can believe it. No, is that where did Mad Max film in New Zealand?
Mad Max was Australia, so they
Okay,
jumped.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Quick thing. How long is that flight between New Zealand and Australia? Is it long or is it?
So 3 hours,
Oh, that's
depending
not
on.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So my family are in Sydney. Auckland is like 3 hours between.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, no.
Another question I have for you. First off, that is awesome that you had this trial by fire and you did it without like you did it with flying colors. Like you were gonna know one way or another, either you're gonna sink or you're gonna swim.
Mm-hmm.
And then you flew literally
Yeah,
through the door that wasn't scored properly the first time.
yeah. I have some like I never told my bosses this
Okay.
because when you we had like several days of rehearsals before we actually went into shooting for all this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've been thrown around a lot or if you've had severe car crashes, but you get a lot of
I,
whiplash.
oh yeah, I played football.
Yeah, plenty of whiplash.
Oh my
So
gosh. Ooh.
a lot of the wire gags were getting shot. So I was getting thrown backwards. And of
And you
course,
didn't know
I
it.
didn't know how to
Handle
actually
that.
ride the line to start with. So the first day was very,
Brutal.
very brutal. And then
Yeah.
the second day, I was like, okay, I think you do this. And by the third day, I was just like Batman. I was just
Oh
like,
yeah. Well, yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
um, which was
Oh
fine because I was in the deep end and the team were trying to help me as much as possible. But like,
yeah.
you gotta
Still.
like put your body in the right position. And everything was safe, of course. Everything
Yeah.
like
Absolutely. But still.
all of that. And I did not tell them this at all. But on the third day, because I was living at home because I was still studying. So
Yeah.
on the first job, I was doing my postgraduate degree at the same time.
Wow. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I woke up one morning and I went out and I talked to my dad in the kitchen. And I was like, "Yep, I'm getting ready, going to work, blah, blah." And then I woke up on the floor of our walk-in pantry and I was like,
Holy smokes.
"What happened?"
Yeah. What happened?
Turns out I had pinched a nerve or something in my neck and
Yeah.
I had just passed out.
Blacked out.
Yeah, completely on the morning of the third morning. And
Holy.
I
You
had
didn't break anything when you fell, did you? Like your face, or you looking to bust your teeth or nose or
no,
something?
like I felt like the bruising, but I didn't bust anything, fortunately. I think I had like turned to like walk back down the hallway.
Yeah.
I walked into the pantry and then just passed out. Don't remember.
Who
Don't
found you? Your parents or something? Or you found got
I
it?
just woke up on the floor.
Holy smoke. That's so scary. But yeah.
And then I text my boss and I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be late today. I'm so sorry." Like I like sat on the floor of like my parents' bathroom. I was like, "Can you just keep an eye on me for like an hour or two?" I just like sat there and I was like, "Cool, water, I'm good." I think I'm fine. I'm gonna go to work. And I just went to
You were
work
badass.
again.
I'm gonna give you an air high five. You were badass, but at the same time, you probably needed medical attention.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that's every stunt performer for you. Every stunt performer can tell you that they like got injured or did something stupid and they're like, I just didn't tell anyone. I just
Yeah.
every
It's, you know what, it's sad, but it's both funny and it's sad. Like, we know that we want to work and we're willing to put ourselves through. I mean, you guys put yourselves through way more. But you know, when they a lot of times when we're auditioning stuff, they'll say, "Hey, can you ride a horse?" Yeah, I can ride a horse. Can you drive a motorcycle? Yeah, damn right I can drive. Can you fly a plane? Call me Tom Cruise, right? And then you have to learn it by the time you get there, or most of the time you do it on the spot, which most of the time it's you're figuring out on the spot.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, it's the sacrifices that you've made, that stunt women and men have made, to do what you do, which is, I commend you. Like, I mean, that's absolutely, it's terrifying that you passed out. And that means you probably did need medical attention, but you knew this was your opportunity, to your first big gig.
That was exactly it. It was the fear of being replaced as
Yep.
soon as I just like I only just stepped in the door and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I cannot have anyone take this away from me. Like I have to go and take it. Like I will just be smarter, look after myself, do all the as an athlete what you have to do
Yeah.
to recover and rest. And I'm like, I knew that rest was coming. So I was
Yeah.
like, I could just push through.
You'd be
Like I
fine.
know that today isn't going to be as bad. There's not going to be as much because they've already wrecked me for a full week.
Yeah.
So like I know what's happening, so I can look after myself a bit more and I can rest and recover.
Absolutely.
That
But
was fun.
Bronte, I think that's amazing. My first story of me doing my first big gig was Criminal Minds. I had food poisoning. I was up all night and throwing up everywhere. I was about to throw up on set. Like, literally at one point, my mouth was watering, and one of the actors' phones went off, and I was doing my lines. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys! There was a trash can right there in case I needed to throw up, but I was dead to rights, sick as a dog. People were like, man, you look really thin there. I'm like, because I was dying on the inside from food poisoning.
That's hard to push through. That's really hard.
Yeah, but as you said, though, you know, it's that opportunity and it's that fear of getting replaced. This is the biggest moment of my life. Right at that moment, I have to do it. You have to push through it. But that speaks to your character. That speaks to your will to overcome obstacles no matter what. So I think that's awesome that you did that. Three other things. I know you probably had limited time, so sorry. I'm loving talking to you. I want to make sure we hit the things. You did Accountant 2, which is amazing. You did Avatar and Rings of Power. If you can hit those three, because I know you're probably limited on time. So
Okay, so let's work back. I did Avatar 2. I did that in New Zealand.
okay.
So local contract, and I was Edie Falco's stunt double.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they bleached my hair blonde. I did the whole thing. I was working for Garrett Warren. Again, actually, Stuart Thorpe as well was our local coordinator. He's the guy that employed me ever. So cool to work for him again. And yeah, that was a whole crazy experience. Working with James Cameron.
Yeah. Wow. How awesome is that?
He knows more than every single department head.
Really?
Like watching him go around and talking to each department head and be like, you should be doing this, 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 and this. I'm like,
Man.
like how?
Yeah, that's
Done it for that long. You're that involved in the industry, but he is
right.
so knowledgeable about everything. I was just kind of astounded by that.
Yeah. How long were you on that for, Bronte?
So I was on and off that. So that was filmed in Wellington in New Zealand, and I was living in Auckland at the time.
Okay.
They literally flew me in like every week.
That's amazing.
They flew me in. I'd be there for like 2-3 days, and they're like, "Oh, if the action got pushed, we're just going to send you back. Oh, we're going to bring you down into rehearsal. We're going to send you back." Great, but also I had no idea what I was doing for a solid 3 months.
But hey, let me tell you what. That's a good. I wish I had that.
It was just flying by the seat of my pants, just being like, okay, well, I guess I'm glad I have no serious attachments right now.
Yeah, true.
I'm just going. Like,
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because you have to leave it a minute notice. Hey, we need you here, so you knew you had to go. You were committed to that project for the extent of the time.
Yeah, and Edie was absolutely awesome to work with. She was great, and then yeah, it was interesting doing the combination between motion capture and live action, because quite a lot of the motion capture for Avatar 2 is actually filmed here in LA.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of the people that worked on the production, I'm like, we've worked on the same movie and I've never met you.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of the motion capture here, but when we're in New Zealand, like for example, everyone's like, oh, which blue person was you? I was not a blue person. I was Edie Falco, who was like the
Navy, like should Navy or Marines.
yeah. She's like telling everyone what to do. She's a boss. And so what we did was to track our movement, we had our motion capture suit throughout our costume.
Really interesting.
Yeah, we're filming the live action. So I'm in full costume, but then in addition to that, I also am hooked up to a battery pack and have this motion capture suit through it. So we're
Yeah.
doing things at the same time, and we're shooting on the stage, but the stage is within the volume.
Yeah.
Volume is the motion capture space.
Mm-hmm.
And so still every day I would have to go through, it was bizarre. I would have to go through wardrobe and makeup and then also have to go to the motion capture
people. Yeah.
and then do all your T poses, all that sort of stuff, and then actually go into the space to do the stunts after that, and then again to motion capture and then be able to get processed out.
Yeah.
And some of the scenes were really difficult. So the live action was hard to film because there was people walking around with like the digital screen because they had already mapped so much the digital world.
Yeah.
And so we would film a take and they're like, you can't stand there. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't stand here? They're like,
because there's a tree or something.
yeah, there's actually someone there already. Like
Okay.
they're looking at like the screen and like there's an avatar right there. So we would have, we called them the troop, and they would be in blue suits and things, and they would be like, actually, there's someone right here, in the digital world that has already been mapped.
Okay.
We're trying to put the live action on top of the digital world instead of
Wow.
filming the live action and then doing the digital.
Yeah.
The other way around. And so like there was a lot of takes because like
I'll
it
bet.
was great and everything would be an awesome shot, but you're like, oh, we screwed it up because
Wrong.
that's wrong. And
Yeah.
some of the things we did were very repetitive, very particular, but a crazy cool experience. Like I've never done a production like it.
Yeah, I would assume so. Everything you just said, just there alone, has blown my mind because I haven't been a part. I've been a part of big things, but nothing on that scale. So that's like crazy to hear you say the fact that you had to worry about spatial awareness within the world that you're not able to actually physically see.
Yes, and that was the crazy thing is we didn't know what we were seeing. So
Yeah.
I remember Jim coming onto set one time and being like, "What are you guys looking at? It's right there." And I'm like, "What's right there? What are you looking at?" And then because he knows the world so well, and he knows every creature in the world, and I'm like, I haven't even read the script. It's so confidential. Sometimes I would turn up and be like, "Are we shooting movie 2 or 3? I don't know. No one's giving me. I don't know what's happening right now."
Yeah.
And so like I would turn up and the PA would come up. Oh no, the assistant director, and they'd be like, "Cool, so you know what's happening?" And I'm like,
No.
"Not at
Yeah.
all."
Absolutely.
And they're like, "Oh no, he's gonna be here in 5 minutes." And I was like, "Okay, great. He's gonna be here in 5 minutes."
So
Then what? Like,
yeah.
and they're like, "Well, you need to rehearse the whole scene. Like, we need you to do the scene." So
You have to know what's going to be happening.
I basically had to be stand-in / stunt double for Edie.
Holy smokes. Yeah.
Because our costume was like custom made and fit. And it was, how much? What is that? I think it was like 45, 50 pounds.
Oh, that's how heavy it was with all the stuff
That's
on?
how heavy the costume was.
That's a heavy motion. Oh, was it? I think I saw you with the robot thing on. Did you have the robot thing on too?
Yes. So
Man.
the robot suit, and they only built the top half. So the whole point of those robot suits is like the bottom half is meant to stabilize the top, so you're not actually carrying it.
Yeah.
I was carrying it because we don't have the bottom half because that's all motion capture. Oh no.
Yeah.
Or like CG. And so then I would have the ADs giving me lines and being like, learn these lines now because you're rehearsing the scene in 5 minutes. And I'm like, wait, rehearsing the scene for James Cameron? And
yeah, one of the best, greatest directors of all time. Yeah.
You want me just to
right?
I don't know this world, I don't know this character, I have to learn these lines in 5 minutes. And and I'm also rehearsing, like I had to rehearse the scene with Stephen Lang, and like do the whole walkthrough and time it out with him as well, because like, we just couldn't have anyone else in this 50-pound costume.
Yeah, besides you. That's a lot.
Like it was a lot.
Yeah.
There was one time I stood there, I think, while they were trying to line up and set things up for 3 hours.
In the whole costume on too. Dude, your lower back must have been humming.
I was very sore.
Yeah.
And like I remember one of the because it was made by Weta. And like it looked incredible. Like it was
Yeah.
great. It looked incredible, looked realistic. It was the absolute part. And they came up and they're like, they were sort of looking at me and they're like, yeah, we're really glad we went with that. Like we had this option to go for I don't even remember the like actual metal they were using, but like we had the option for this lighter metal, but we chose this one because it looked better. And I was just looking at
Thank
him.
you.
I You have
Bronte,
no
that's what,
idea.
yeah. You know, that's what I feel you on that. I know exactly what you like. You're a trooper. You're a trooper. I mean, it's an opportunity of a lifetime, but it's an opportunity of a lifetime. But yeah, still, but you still like the thing is, people don't get. We're still doing work. It's not like we might not be curing cancer, which we're not curing cancer. Excuse me, but there's certain things, especially stunt women and stunt men, you guys have to do that's a lot more. And then, brother, I'm gonna hold you up because I know you probably got time. You got to go today, but I can literally have you back on later next week.
For sure. I mean, you asked about Rings of Power
Yeah, I
and
want to hear Rings of Power and Accountant 2. If you're able to hit it, if you can like hit those two, it would be awesome.
Rings of Power was a real random one. Again, it was a busy time. It was actually at the end of 2020. So
Okay.
2020, New Zealand did real well with COVID, and we kind of basically kept it out.
Oh
And
wow.
for like the first outbreak, we basically kept it out. So our film production started up towards the end of 2020, pretty strong. So we
Okay.
were countries that was filming. A lot of precautions and things like that. But there was like 4 or 5 shows going at once. We were just going. And Rings of Power started back up. It actually started pre-COVID and then came back
Okay.
after. And so I jumped on for some pre-visualization stuff. So like just like filming some fight scenes and things
Okay.
during that time. And then I got the call up and they're like, yeah, so we want you for one of the blocks. And I was like, bet, love that.
Yeah.
They brought me on as an uruk, as an orc.
Oh wow, the Urukai, like or I guess you guys pronounce it, or like the big buff ones, right?
So not the big ones, the short, stocky ones.
Okay.
Like if you've seen Rings of Power,
Yeah, I
they
have. I watched it.
special. Yeah, so I was an orc for about 7 months.
Man,
Yeah.
that's oh, you have to do all the makeup and everything.
So fortunately, only those of us who either had dialogue or were like in camera had full makeup. We all had. So we had prosthetic limbs, we had prosthetic legs, and we had full-on masks.
Okay.
So the only makeup we needed was like around our eyes to darken them and around our nose for the nostrils so that
Okay.
they see our skin color at all. And yeah, that was a crazy time. I was on that for about 7 months, and the team like started small. I think it started with like there was the core team of the whole production, which mostly involved the doubles, the riggers, the coordinators,
Yeah.
and then we got added on, which was like about 10 of us was kind of
Okay.
like for like bike team for the Uruks, and then from there it went and it just started to grow and grow and grow, and by the end of the production I'm pretty sure there was about 40 in our group.
Okay.
Final big battle scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Amazon was very strict on policies regarding like footage and all of that, so I barely have a thing from it.
Oh really? Oh man, that's always the worst.
And then also we were doing the wildest stuff and so much of it never hit the camera.
Oh my gosh.
There was like one of our first fight scenes, which was in the trench. It was like in episode 1 of Rings of Power season 1. Most of the fight scene got cut, like, and we were
Devastated.
really devastated. And then we did a big final battle, which was in like the town center, sort of. I think it was episode 6 of season 1.
Yeah.
That stuff got cut, and there was so much like, if only you knew what was happening in the background.
Probably
Like,
amazing.
I wish people knew, because there would be so often where we would get divided up with our stunt riders. Again, I've ridden horses. I have done horse stunts. I don't consider myself a stunt rider because the stunt riders I have seen
are amazing.
They have literally grown up in that saddle. They've done like mounted games. They've been professional polo players. They know how to like whip a horse like it's a car. You know what I mean?
Oh wow. Yeah. Seriously. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they know how to do that. And
are they ghost riding the horse?
We used to
Yeah.
talk about the horses as if
Oh.
they were carts. We're gonna like, you're gonna whip it in here, you're gonna like pull a donut, and then like you're gonna wheel out that way. Like you would talk that way about the horses,
Yeah.
how they would ride them. But the stuff that would go on, they'd be like, okay, we need background action. So
Yeah.
you horse, and then they would send 2 or 3 of us over there. Go do something. Go fill that space. They would just be like, go, you're over there, you're over there, you're over there. So then we're kind of coming up with our own little scenes and like trying to cross, and like it was chaos.
Yeah.
Only you knew what was happening in the background. Like,
Yeah.
it was gnarly, but there was one time when like there was a whole vignette where like a horse came in and it would like fight one person and then it would keep coming around, and it literally, the rider whipped the tail of the horse and I like just ate it. I just like was like on purpose, like I just ran straight into it and just like got hit by the horse's ass and got sent flying.
Yeah.
None of
Not on
that.
camera. Bronte, can I ask you a question? I know this, so you should know this too. I am always aware where that camera is. If that I am always paying attention to where that camera is.
No, so we are on I should specify, we are on camera.
Oh, okay. It just was edited out.
It got all cut in the edit.
Dude, oh my gosh. I love editors, but man, they like, I love editors, but man, I've had stuff edited out that I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I need that.
The most, like, all the big stuff we did in Rings on that season, I feel like there was like only a handful that made it in the edit.
That's heartbreaking. It really is devastating.
It was one where we were basically blind. It was like the horses were stampeding and we are jumping over a wall and we're all going through the stampede of horses and eventually taken out and thrown to a side. Swear to God, I almost died on that one.
Oh, wow. I'm not laughing at it. I'm just like the way you explained it.
You get killed and you like roll to a side to like make way for the stampeding horses, but there's still people jumping over the wall. The problem with horses is they get spooked.
Yeah.
Someone jumps over the wall, the horse gets spooked and it steps. And there was one where I was laying on the ground. I'm literally like spooning my friend who's pushed against the wall, and I'm trying to them. And I just see this horse's hoof just like right by my waist, just
oh, yeah, seriously.
like there was plenty of stuff like that. I'm like, you don't see what's going on. Like you see like a little flick, like 2 seconds of like energy, and then it's gone. Like, you don't actually see the danger. You don't see the craziness, the chaos. But Rings of Power was crazy fun. Fantastic crew. And actually, one of my favorite things about that is I started to find more and more Christians on set.
Oh, that's a good thing. That's rare. It's kind of rare, but it's good too. I love it when I find Christians on set too. It
was amazing, especially as the stunt team grew, and I realized how much we end up having like a small group and a little Bible study.
Nice.
One time, like
hey, perfect.
like, hey, let's meet up early. Let's go have like a little Bible study and stuff. And so that was a really cool experience to bring.
Absolutely. And I bet you, I just got to say this because I'm glad you mentioned the Christianity thing and the Bible study group. You don't know, that was God keeping you from getting stepped on by that horse.
Yeah.
How many times you could have gotten taken out, but you know that having that faith and that being there's that angel like, oop, not today.
Honestly, that's all it could have been, because there was that was close. That was my entire
And thank you, baby Jesus. I appreciate it. You know?
There was so many times on that job where we're like, you know what, these horses are a little, they're not feeling it today. So guys, we're just not going to die today. We're just going to hit, and we're just going to
cut the horse.
Run away. We're gonna not hit the ground and be under its hooves.
That's very smart to do. So I also want to say 2 things. One, I know you're about. I'm gonna make sure you get it. One, that video I saw, the Dick Wolf, not Dick Wolf. It was Wolf Stunts. That video is so awesome.
Thank you so much.
So awesome.
Thank you.
You're a star.
That actually came about from The Accountant too.
Okay. Oh, did it really?
Yeah. So I was on The Accountant too, and David Conk was the fight choreographer.
Yeah.
And basically the whole job, we were just talking about like how it would be cool to just do something. And I had never really had the opportunity to lead any fights. Like I've done lots of little fight practices and things, but I haven't had the opportunity to like start in much. And I was like, I really want to do that. And he was down with it. He's like, I haven't shot a fight in forever, so I'd be down to actually shoot something. because he's done a lot. If you look at the Wolf Stunts channel, like
I'm gonna go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the Wolf Stunts YouTube channel, like there's a lot of fights and some really amazing concepts with his team.
Okay, they're awesome, and so are you. Like, I saw that and I was like, holy smoke, she's coming on today.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about it. We filmed that, so it was like literally we finished The Accountant.
Okay.
And I think that following week, even like we wrapped out that week and then flew to Atlanta because that was when the first job popped up with there was like proof of concept that we were shooting.
Yeah.
And then I also had a couple of other connections that I was catching up with and shooting some other things out there. So it's kind of like my working holiday, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a nice working holiday. Yeah.
And so we shot that like literally as soon as we wrapped on Accountant because we've been working together for those 3-4 months. Yeah.
That was so that honestly, like Bronte, like you're a star. I kid you not. Like that alone, like you should be working everywhere. Anyone that sees that, because I'm gonna have to borrow that to put on my for your stuff when I do it. That thing was so amazing. Like I was I don't even know. I think I'm even speechless on the words. That was next level.
Wow. Thank you.
It really was.
I think being the athlete and being the I guess the performer I am, it's the whole thing of like next, and you never take the time to like actually I never give myself flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a champion. It's a champion. You're right. I have it too. It's a champion mentality. Once you've gotten that one win, after you do that one job, you're ready for the next because you're ready to go because you want that same feeling to keep going because you're a winner.
Yeah. It was really fun. It was a good challenge. I would love to do that more. That was a large reason of why I wanted to do it as well. Is like I want to be seen in that light. It's creating the opportunity for yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't just goon. I'm not just Uruk number 7.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pool boy number 6 over here. Yeah.
Like I can do other things. Like
Yeah.
I can lead fight thing. And I hadn't really had the opportunity to lead a fight. Until it came to The Accountant, actually. And I think it was really through Vlad Rimberg really got me in. He put me forward for it because I'd known him on and off for a few through his training.
Yeah.
And so he has seen me training for years, put me forward for the job. I auditioned, ended up getting the job.
Heck yeah.
It became my first like big lead role. Like I've doubled a lot, but it's always like doubling number 3, number 6, number 10.
Yeah.
Like basically one of the lead females in the production with the most fights and action scenes. I've never had that opportunity.
For Accountant too, right?
Yeah, The Accountant too. So this was absolutely huge for me.
Yeah.
And it really,
bravo too, by the way. I just have to say, like, bravo. Like you earned it. You paid you've earned it.
oh my gosh,
You've earned it.
That job alone, like I'm sure Vlad won't mind me saying this, but so I got the job and I had done like the first 3 days of pre-production where we're doing the pre-visualization.
Yeah.
And I remember Vlad called me. I got home, it was a Friday night, and Vlad called me, and we had spent the first day shooting the fight. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's the big fight at the end between the girls.
Okay.
We choreographed it for a couple of days, and then it was the first day of shooting it. So we had someone else in, another one of the girls had come in to finally shoot it with us. And we're going through it, and I thought I was following the direction that he wanted, but I obviously wasn't translating what he wanted correctly.
Yeah.
He called me that night and he's like, that wasn't it. If you don't change, we'll replace you.
Oh, wow. Yeah. But so you got your act together.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot lose this opportunity. Also, at the same time, I was very grateful because I'm like, it's not often you get the phone call saying you could get replaced.
Yeah.
They just do it. And that's it. You've missed your opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great. Okay. Really, really hard to hear. Obviously from someone you admire and you're working for. But then I was like, okay, what do I do? I was still sitting in my car. I had just gotten home from work and I just was still in my car when I got this phone call and I was like, I guess I'm going to the gym. And then I just reversed my car. I went straight to the gym.
Okay, to practice more or what? Or just to work on the choreography?
Absolutely. Yes. So I spent another 2-3 hours at the gym that night. And then I was already messaging a whole bunch of people. I organized my friends to train with me that following morning to rehearse the choreography to see what I was doing. film it the same way that Vlad was shooting it. I went through it with them. I had another friend meet me at midday to shoot some more and
Wow.
just train specific in Muay Thai because it's very Muay Thai heavy. And I was like,
Okay.
"No, my technique isn't like tight enough." So I went through that some more. That was training number 2. And then that night, I looked up some acting and was like, okay, need to work on the acting because that is also a heavy part of stunts and selling the action. The following day, I went and spent like 5 hours at a gun range training guns again.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then came back and did more Muay Thai and then more acting stuff that night. So I spent this solid weekend going out of my mind thinking I was about to lose my job.
Yeah.
Just my ass off. And then it was also the fight choreographer, David, who said to me, he's like, I think you should just approach it this way. Like, just, I had been too demure and too Terminator-esque, I would say.
Okay.
He's very like,
Yeah, like stoic and like just
yes. So that's the way I'd been playing the character.
Okay.
Like, just go
Let
ape.
that go.
Just go ape. And I was like, bet.
Ooh.
And so I went completely off the rails and just raged.
Yeah.
They loved it.
That's what I'm talking about, Bronte.
I was like, okay, kept my job. Thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. But but you put in. Not everybody. I'm so glad you shared that story because obviously Vlad believed in you. He believed in you because he wouldn't have hired you if he didn't believe in you. So he gave you that step to realize, oh my, okay, I got to take this to the next level because he probably had pressure on him, you know. So then you went all out.
I literally did all I could possibly do. Like,
yeah.
That time, I was like, I spent every second of that entire weekend that I was awake thinking about how can I keep this job and get better in this limited amount of time.
Yeah, I've seen people get replaced on set, so it's a real thing. But yeah, but I am proud of you for how you just kicked it into gear and kicked it into overdrive because that movie is extreme. I love the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet. I'm gonna go see it now.
Mm-hmm.
But you kicked into gear, and that movie is Ben Affleck. I see Ben a lot because he comes to the gym that I'm at, and he said that one's even better than the first one.
It is,
and really that's a hard thing to do.
I actually love. They brought way more comedy into the second one.
Okay.
So yeah, the dynamic between the brothers really is what carries it. It's funny.
Oh yeah, John Bernthal and Ben, you can't beat those two. Yeah, they're the best at it.
They play off each other very well, and then I like the mystery aspect that is involved in it as well. It's like an action comedy plus like this mystery kind of thriller.
Okay.
And I think they did a really great job.
I'm gonna go try and see that on Tuesday. I'm gonna go check. So I gotta support you. I gotta support Ben. Yeah, I gotta go check that out on Tuesday. Bronte. Oh, actually, I did want to say this one thing, just so you know. Because I want to clarify this for everybody out there, stuntmen, stuntwomen. I do all my gun work. That's just me. That's all me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm really good at it. I'm like proud of everything I do with that. So I just want to clarify that there would never be a stunt double for my gun stuff at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a great thing because every actor should have basic gun knowledge.
Yeah.
Safety on set around guns. I'm like, please know how to handle it. Know when it's loaded or in the safety zone. Like you shouldn't rely on your stunt double to know if the safety is on the gun.
Yeah, absolutely. All the gun, every single bit of gun stuff. No, there's been no stuntman no stuntman has ever doubled for me. That's all me. I'm proud of all my stunt with the gun stuff. I am beyond proud of it. And talk about footage getting cut. Some of my power footage got cut, which breaks my heart. But the director, what's that?
Can you talk to the DIT? Can you?
I talked to the director.
Yeah.
Because the director had me looking like I did all my amazing gun stuff in Power, and the director's just like, Brandon, dude, I can't even get the footage for you, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but look, Bronte, I know you had limited time today. You're gonna have to come back because you got to meet Mom, and because there's so much more that I want to talk about. But I just want to establish you here. You're amazing. I'm so glad to finally meet you.
Great to meet you as well.
Yeah, and thank you so much for your time. But I said I'm gonna have to be back soon because my mom's gonna have a million questions after she sees this.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing me on.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And then Bronte, say your whole entire name. Pronounce your whole entire name.
Bronte Coluccio.
I like it. It sounds Italian, but it might not be.
It is Italian.
Okay, there we go. I feel better. Italian. All right. Well, Bronte, thank you so much. I'll get this back to you within 48 hours. Actually, less than that. It'd be like probably in 3 hours. But when I post it on Instagram, it'd be cut up. That's going to take longer. That part takes longer because I release it purposely for marketing perspective. I know how to do the marketing stuff for things.
No, I totally understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, Bronte. Well, look, thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. You've been an amazing guest. We always give everybody a round of applause. Your stories are so awesome. I can't wait to hear more of them. And my mom have a million questions for you. So, Bronte, thank you so much, my dear. What's that?
You. I said I have plenty more.
Okay, yes, and we're gonna go down them.
Bet.
All right. I like you say bet too. You've been in the East Coast too long. All right, Bronte, I'll talk to you later, sweetie.
Yeah.
All right, bye.